Okay, today we're going to make a tortilla, which is a Spanish omelette. The one I'm going to make is fairly simple. I'm just going to use obviously potatoes, which I've cut into small little cubes. It's worth drying them as well before you cut them so that the oil doesn't sort of jump when you put it in the pan. And about half a small onion, depends how much you like onion. Now what we're going to do is, we've got the oil hot in the pan there at the moment. Try and choose a suitable size pan for the amount of ingredients you got, because otherwise you won't get the shape. So we're going to start off, just pop the onion in the oil, give it a quick stir, and then we're going to pretty much at the same time pop in all the potatoes. Now you notice there was quite a lot of oil in the pan. You need that really to gently cook the potatoes all the way through. So you want to put about 1/4 inch or 6 ml of oil in there. So I'm now going to leave that cooking. I'm just going to pop in a little bit of salt, not too much because I'll probably mix some more with the egg. It's up to you whether you use pepper. I like pepper, so again I'm just going to put a bit of that in there, like so. And then just give it a stir, and again we'll come back to that in a couple of minutes. Okay, we've been cooking for a couple of minutes, so it's a good opportunity to just try and turn it all over a little bit. You might think there's a lot of oil in here for an omelette, but the thing is you actually drain virtually all this oil off afterwards, and then when you finish cooking it's got hardly any oil at all. A nice thing you can add to the tortilla is maybe a little bit of finely chopped red peppers. The other thing is courgettes. If you finely slice courgettes, you can put those in. Or the other thing you can have is the Spanish sort of chorizo. That's great if you like the sort of meat flavour, or you can keep it plain and simple. The whole thing really only takes about 15 minutes. About 10 minutes cooking the potatoes here, then you drain them off. And then that's at the point you mix the egg and you fry it in the pan, and you're all done. So what we'll do is we'll come back in about another 8 minutes, so that will be 10 minutes in total cooking. You don't need to constantly keep turning it over. If anything, I'm only just trying to get it all even at the moment. I'm going to probably leave it cooking on a lowish heat for the rest of it, and that makes the potatoes also almost like multiply into each other. Like you say, don't get them brown because you don't want them like chips, otherwise it's not an authentic kind of recipe. So we just leave that cooking for another 7 or 8 minutes and then come back. Okay, we've been cooking for about 10 or so minutes, so I've turned the heat off now, and what I'm going to do is, just to keep it in camera view, I'm going to get as much of that potato out without getting the oil. So you almost want to tilt the pan back and just gently ease it into there like so. Don't do it too quickly, otherwise you'll end up scooping a load of oil, and it's not so nice then. So we're getting it all in there like so. Okay, now we can even let that cool down just for a minute or two if you want. All this oil, I'm just going to pour it into a pan so that there's only a tiny little amount left. So now to the mixture there, I'm going to add in a couple of eggs. Now I've actually sort of just put them in a thing and beaten them a little bit. Again, just add a little bit of salt in there like so. I want to make sure there is enough in there so that it kind of all bonds together. And I've used 2 eggs for this sort of, this is a fairly small tortilla, so that's fine. Have a look at that and just give it a quick stir then. Don't go too mad because the potato's quite soft and you don't want it sort of getting too squashed, but it all kind of emulsifies together. Okay, and now we're ready to start the cooking. So we're going to use the same pan but with hardly any oil, and probably cook that at a sort of medium heat. So we'll do the cooking now. Okay, we've got the frying pan. You can see hardly any oil. If anything, I could give that a quick wipe like so, just to get rid of most of it. It's on the heat, just a sort of low to medium heat. Now what we want to do is just gently ease that in like so. That's that. And then just go about squashing it down on there. Like so. Just pat it down so that you're squashing all the egg and the potatoes together. Now what we're going to do in a minute is flip it over. So it's going to be, I'm going to use a plate over the top and then do a quick turn. That's one of the reasons you don't use much oil, otherwise when you turn it you end up getting all the oil over your arm and you burn yourself. So just probably cook that for about 2 minutes, I'd say, on that side. Just go around the edges there, because the thing about a tortilla, you don't want it too flat, you want a nice shape to it. So just pushing that in like so. Okay, and just leave that cooking for a couple of minutes and then we're going to flip it over. Okay, we've been cooking for a couple of minutes on that side. So now what we're going to do, make sure you've got a plate that goes over the top, alright, because you don't want any of the oil and that to come out. So just very gently put it on there, hold your hand there and then just turn it over. Vuelta la tortilla. And then what we then do is just pop it back in like so, and then turn the heat down, and then we tuck the edges in. This only needs a minute on this side really, knocked a little bit out there. By doing this you kind of get the shape, it's a little bit nicer in appearance. This is a great dish because you can eat it hot, you can have it cold, put it in a bocata, very cheap, very quick and nice and filling. I mean the problem with a lot of the English sort of style of omelettes is they don't really fill you up very much. So that's pretty much done now, and we'll put that on a plate and I'll eat it. Okay, just to show you what it looks like inside, I'm just going to cut a little slice there and lift it up. Look at that, lovely, compact, great, ready to eat.